Emma Rivera, a talented courtroom artist, faces the frustrations of modern dating in a bustling city filled with superficial connections and endless dating app cycles. Despite her friends' attempts to encourage her, she feels increasingly disillusioned. This sense of monotony abruptly shifts when Emma receives a frantic call from her father Ian Rivera, a prominent penguin researcher stationed in Antarctica. The call is fragmented and distressing. Ian hints at a grave danger tied to the ice sheet breaking apart and aggressive killer whales in the area. Just as Emma seeks clarity, the call cuts off, leaving her anxious and worried. Panic sets in when repeated attempts to contact Ian fail, deepening her concern as she cannot reach anyone at his remote research base. Driven by determination, Emma resolves to find her father and travels to Antarctica despite the numerous logistical and legal challenges involved. She discovers that a research expedition is departing from Buenos Aires on a cruise ship destined for the icy continent and makes an impulsive decision to join the expedition. Upon her arrival in Buenos Aires, Emma faces a setback when she's denied entry onto the ship due to lacking official clearance for Antarctica. Unwilling to let this deter her, she sneaks aboard disguising herself as a research team member. Once on board, Emma meets Andy Jackson, a quirky and friendly mechanical engineer known for his expertise in sub-zero technology. To avoid suspicion, she concocts a story about being an engineering assistant, hoping to blend in until the voyage reaches Antarctica. As the journey continues, Emma wrestles with maintaining her fabricated identity, all while forging a tentative bond with Andy, who senses something is amiss with her story. She continually attempts to establish communication with her father's Antarctic base but struggles to achieve any success. Although she admires her father's passion for penguins and his commitment to his research, his tendency to work alone in remote locations exacerbates her worries. Throughout their interactions, Emma and Andy develop a playful rapport, with Andy revealing the excitement of life at sea, though Emma remains steadfastly focused on her mission to locate her father. As the journey progresses, Emma's presence on the ship raises red flags, particularly with the ship's chief officer Ingrid, who is strict about maintaining protocols. Ingrid begins questioning Emma's credentials, leading to several close calls where Emma must rely on her quick thinking to evade being discovered, often with Andy's reluctant assistance. The journey thus unfolds with a blend of Emma's personal quest, unexpected connections, and the looming threat that her father may be in imminent danger. As Emma delves deeper into her father's research, she uncovers alarming insights about the melting ice and its potentially catastrophic environmental repercussions. She discovers maps and documents indicating that the ice shelf her father was investigating has experienced rapid disintegration, posing significant threats to both wildlife and human settlements in the region. Journey to Antarctica and early search efforts. After an arduous 10-day journey marked by tumultuous seas, bouts of seasickness, and interactions with fellow passengers, the ship finally reaches Antarctica. Clad in borrowed gear from Andy, Emma steps onto the stunning yet foreboding icy expanse, feeling both awe and anxiety about her father's disappearance. The research team heads towards the designated base, but Ian is absent. In a bid for information, Emma contacts Peg, a research station worker, who shares the troubling news that Ian has been missing for several days after reporting unusual seismic activity. Although Peg reassures Emma that search teams have been mobilized, she cautions against venturing out alone. Undeterred, Emma, with Andy's hesitant encouragement, embarks on her own search expedition. Facing danger and unraveling mysteries. As they traverse the inhospitable Antarctic landscape, Emma and Andy confront relentless weather, unstable ice, and unforeseen wildlife interactions. Emma's resolve to locate her father intensifies when they stumble upon Ian's abandoned gear and personal items near a treacherous ice fissure, leading them to suspect he may have fallen victim to the very threats he was studying. In a stroke of fortune, they discover a makeshift shelter Ian created, where Emma finds a series of insightful video logs. In these recordings, Ian shares his distressing discoveries: an alarming escalation in glacial melting due to geothermal activity beneath the surface, resulting in the displacement of wildlife and jeopardizing the ecosystem. The videos highlight Ian's encounters with a previously unrecorded behavior of killer whales, which have started to adapt in unexpected ways to their changing habitat. A race against time for rescue. Armed with critical information from Ian's logs, Emma and Andy rush back to the research base to relay their findings. However, their return journey quickly becomes perilous as a sudden blizzard sets in, putting their lives at risk. Navigating through the deteriorating conditions proves challenging, but Andy's engineering expertise becomes invaluable as he aids them in constructing temporary shelters and effectively using their limited resources to find their way back. Emma's quest intertwines with themes of discovery, danger, and the dire consequences of environmental change, emphasizing the fight for survival in one of the planet's most extreme settings. In Polar Opposites, 2025, the gripping story culminates with Emma being rescued by a search team sent by Peg, reuniting with her father Ian, who had taken shelter in a nearby crevasse. This emotional reunion is marked by Ian's pride in Emma's courage and determination throughout their ordeal. The film's revelation focuses on the dire environmental changes occurring in Antarctica, driven by the research data Ian has collected. The research team promptly submits critical reports highlighting these changes and advocating for immediate action to address climate change. Emma, after conquering her fears and exhibiting remarkable resilience, returns home inspired and resolves to pursue a career as an environmental illustrator. She aims to use her artistic talents to increase awareness of the vulnerability of Earth's polar regions. Meanwhile, her relationship with Andy evolves, hinting at a blossoming romance that adds to the narrative's emotional depth. The story concludes on an optimistic note with Emma reflecting on the significance of family perseverance and finding purpose in unexpected challenges. The film intricately weaves themes of environmental preservation, family connections, and personal development. Through Emma's transformation from an urban lifestyle to an unforgiving Antarctic landscape, the narrative unfolds as a quest for identity and meaning. It emphasizes how love and determination can prevail against overwhelming odds while portraying the pressing reality of climate change alongside elements of adventure, romance, and self-discovery. As the story progresses, Emma, Andy, and the research team analyze Ian's findings, revealing alarming truths. They discover that the ice shelf is disintegrating rapidly, instigating underwater seismic activity that poses grave threats to both marine ecosystems and human communities in the region. Ian's insights indicate that warming ocean currents are accelerating this process beyond existing climate models, escalating the urgency of their reports to global authorities. However, as they prepare to disseminate their findings, a violent ice quake disrupts the area, creating severe fractures in the ice and isolating their escape route. Emma and Ian, still coming to grips with their reunion, must collaborate with their team to navigate this perilous situation. Andy steps up to lead, deploying his engineering skills to establish communication and carefully traverse the hazardous terrain. During their escape, they encounter a pod of unusually aggressive killer whales, likely bewildered by their shifting environment. Ian surmises that the changing ice patterns have disrupted the whales' hunting grounds, driving them toward human emergence. Employing his father's teachings on respecting wildlife, Emma guides the team in cautiously maneuvering around the whales, ensuring their safety as they make their escape through the treacherous landscape. A race against time. In the midst of a catastrophic ice shelf collapse, Emma and her research team find themselves in a desperate situation, cut off from main communications and having to traverse treacherous, unpredictable terrain toward a secondary outpost. This perilous journey is fraught with various challenges, including physical exhaustion, equipment malfunctions, and a rapidly depleting supply of resources. Throughout this ordeal, Emma and Andy develop a deeper bond, providing emotional support and drawing strength from their mutual resilience and determination. A pivotal moment occurs when a crevasse suddenly opens beneath Emma, almost engulfing her. Quick-thinking Ian and Andy manage to pull her back to safety, reinforcing the strong emotional ties among the group, particularly between father and daughter. Emma's bravery and resourcefulness emerge as key factors in maintaining the team's morale, driving them onward despite the formidable hardships they face. Reaching safety and raising awareness. After enduring immense difficulties, the team finally reaches the secondary research outpost, where they manage to restore communication with the outer world. With their findings in hand, the urgency of their situation becomes evident as the information is relayed to climate scientists and international organizations, prompting alarms about the looming crisis. Ian's research serves as vital evidence in advocating against climate change, while Emma's first-hand experiences fuel her desire to become an environmental advocate through her artwork and storytelling. As preparations for their return home begin, Emma reflects on how this harrowing journey has influenced her perspective on life. She acknowledges that much like Antarctica's unpredictable environment, life is filled with unforeseen challenges that pave the way for personal growth and transformation. The budding relationship she shares with Andy signifies hope for a bright future built on mutual respect and shared adventures. Epilogue: A New Beginning. Once back in her city, Emma organizes an exhibition to display her illustrations inspired by the Antarctic expedition, focusing on the beauty and vulnerability of the polar ecosystem. Her artistry garners attention from environmental organizations, positioning her as a prominent voice in the campaign against climate change. Meanwhile, Ian shifts to a more advisory role in retirement, dedicating his time to mentoring young researchers and imparting his invaluable knowledge. Andy, ever the adventurer, maintains his engineering pursuits while keeping close ties with Emma, hinting at the continuation of their journey together as both friends and potential partners in the fight for environmental preservation. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.